Hey, just work with me for a second. I'm new to this shit, but good to see you, dog.
You too, man.
So let's
We
go on and
catching
do the
up.
intro. What the fuck is up? Higher point of view here. It is your West Coast Packer backer. Here we just chatting with, I'm getting real interactive with y'all. We chatting with one of my subs. Hey, he goes by the name of, you might know him as Mick Crocodile Dundee, or it's just my boy Matt to me. Hey, I value his opinion. I like, what he thinks about the Packers, obviously, and just his football acumen. So I just want to introduce y'all to him, and we about to get into this shit. What's up with you, man?
Not much, man. Just hanging out. Excited for the season. All sorts of
You
good
and me
stuff
both.
to see who
You
they
and me
gonna pick
both.
and
So
choose.
definitely. So let me just ask you a question. What are the origins of your Packer fandom, bro? When you start becoming a Packer fan? Why?
I think I was just born into it. Being in Wisconsin here, I think it was. Yeah. How do I explain it?
So on top of that question, let me ask you. So obviously I'm Los Angeles, so I guess people pick their own team out here, especially if you was born when I was born, because we didn't have a team at the time. So is it really like a religious thing over there that if you're born somewhere around that area that you just a Packer fan?
Oh, huge! It's huge over here. I mean, most everyone I know lives and breathes Packers. I mean, it is
Okay.
a religion. I mean, Sundays everyone meets up. I mean, having a barbecue out. I mean, it's like anywhere I would think, but here it's different. I mean, every house you go to, every drive down the streets, every car you see up here, there's these Packer emblems somewhere on it, and it's just a lot of good memories of just coming up from it. I mean, there's
Okay,
so much
yeah.
to
Look,
get into about it.
a good buddy of mine was just out there. He's originally from there. Shit, shout out to TR. But he was in a grocery store or something, and even the bags were Packers. Like I told him, the first thing I told him was like, they don't got that shit out here. They got Rams, this and that, but it ain't to the level of being inside the grocery store. So I guess it's a real religion that I'm glad to be a part of. Sorry, I'm not from the motherland, but that's the team that I fell in love with, and that's where my heart is.
Oh, we love Packer fans from everywhere.
Definitely, they have a great
I don't care where
following.
you're from, where you at.
I heard
Oh,
that.
huge!
So
Everywhere you go.
before we get into the X's and O's and our team and all that, I just wanted to ask you, how did you come across my channel and why did you stick around?
I think it was during a draft, just going through everything. When I think it was when we drafted Watson, I came across you and just clicked on you, followed you, liked your approach on it and everything. And then then you had come up them where you're addressing the teammates. I thought that was pretty slick and neat. That's different. You don't see that anywhere. And I found it, stuck with you, messaged you a few times back and forth, and it was good stuff, man. Just great content. I just like how it's different. I mean, you're addressing the player and you're free about it. I mean, there's no shit's given. You want to put it that way. So and it just connected. Like you're different. You are set apart from all the other Packer. What you want to say? Not broadcasters, but YouTube channels and that.
Hey, I thank you for that. I'm just trying, bro. I see it is. I've had people tell me, well, there's a lot of Packer channels out there. I'm like, well, it's not higher point of view, y'all. You got different
No,
kind of people. I don't know if I'm what a normal Packer fan looks like, but I just love the Packers, so I'm just glad that you connected with me on that. So let's get straight into this shit, man. We seen that last preseason game. I think it was pretty uneventful, just like all of them. But just if you're a fan and nerd like me, any kind of football is cool. So I enjoyed it, but probably not the consensus. What do you take from the last game? Where do you want to start with this? You want to start special teams, bro?
I don't know if you should start there. That's ugly. That is ugly. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. Like I was expecting it to get a little better, and it just has not. And also, they have like a fallback kind of excuse, like, well, don't worry, these guys won't be in on special teams. we're going to have starters on special teams. The last thing I remember having starters on special teams is when AJ Dillon did it and got fucking hurt in the divisional round that we could have really used them in that second half, and we didn't end up playing because of that. That's what I want to avoid. But do you think having starters on special teams is really going to turn this thing around?
I would think so, but it's also a scary situation because, yeah, they can get hurt. There's always people getting hurt on kick returns. And, you know, I would like to see them shy away from it, but the way they've been so horrible at it, I mean, they got to try something. It's willing anything they got to try. Just hopefully none of them get hurt doing it. I mean, but some of these guys, you're in a big show. I mean, you got to step up. I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, I shouldn't say how hard is it, because it is hard, but it's, I mean, you trained your life to do that. Be there and get that. And you got to step up and make a play sometime. But that, you guys just looked horrible the last few seasons.
It's been ugly, bro. Like, I've been trying, like, again, the reason I'm so excited about Pat O'Donnell and even Ramiz Ahmed, who's probably not going to make it because of Mason. And, you know, everybody loves Mason. That's Aaron's boy. But those are the only two things that I seen was positive at all. And that one Amari Rodgers return in the first game, but that was more so a bad special teams on their part than anything we did. All he did was run up at a straight line. It ain't like he shook anybody or made any moves to get that. So that's
Right.
one thing, you know, I am worried about, you know, to say the least. But if you look at Matt LaFleur, bro, I mean, every year this guy does everything he can to help out, you know, his coaching staff. Just like this year, he said, fuck the draft, you know, fuck what everybody's saying about these receivers. I'll get mine in the second, third round. Joe Barry, what do you need? I'm going to get you a top D tackle. I'm going to get you a top linebacker, which Quay looked really good yesterday, bro. Hey, this guy's speed from sideline to sideline is incredible. And the thing about that is he's going to have Dre next to him. So he's not even going to have to be sideline to sideline. So just cut that in half, bro. I'm really excited for this defense. What about you?
Very excited. I mean, that's, in my opinion, as of right now, that's the scariest D, I think, in the league right now. I mean, there's just elites on every level. It's going to be, they've gotten nothing but better. I mean, having Alexander back there, Stokes, and I forgot his damn name already. Boy, running. Yeah, it's scary. And then you got Amos back there, and then who's going to be next to him? Don't know. But it's just elite every way you go. I mean, it's going to be, I'm pumped. I haven't seen a defense like this since 2010. Last year we won the Super Bowl. So,
and you ain't lying. And listen, with that 2010 team, I think it was an opportunistic defense because as far as turnovers, because guys have moved the ball on us in 2010, you know, there was close games. They'll move the ball on us, but we would do that one play, whether it was Woodson, whether it was Nick Collins. We had that one play, one turnover that'll send it over to the offense. And at that time, nobody wanted to see our offense. So that was a good point there. You also said safety. So we're going to talk about that right now. Vernon Scott got hurt. He was supposed to be the guy who was going to be behind Double-A and Savage. We already know Savage is dealing with injuries. Hopefully they kept him out this long so he can be ready week one. But again, these guys are still going to need a breather. Now, safeties do play the most on the defense, you know, so we're going to need them both to play a lot. But who do you see coming in, stepping into that next spot? I'm liking Abernathy. But what do you think? Do we need to dip into free agency? Because, you know, a lot of safeties are going to be cut. I heard about that notion, too. What do you think about that?
I think Abernathy, give him the shot. I mean, what's it going to hurt? Throw him in there first couple of weeks. Like you said, there's going to be free agents out there. So I think give him the way he's been playing. I mean, he's been fire. He's been doing good. I mean, this last game, what he had 4 solos.
Yeah, total of I think 6 tackles. You're right.
Yep. So
and look, sorry, that splash play the last game, not the interception. That was great that he got in on the sideline. But bro, for a safety to fire through like that and get a tackle for loss, bro, that shit was beautiful, man. You know?
Yes. Yep. You can tell he wants it, and that's what I think you got to have out there.
Give him a chance. Hey, and it's a cheap. You know, it's a cheap deal. You know, Gutekunst is the ultimate bargain shopper. He'll go to the store with $20 and your ass gonna have you a 5-course meal. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and I don't think, people just look at Goot just from the Jordan Love pick, and then even with that, I don't know how familiar you are with my feeling about Jordan Love. I just think he's put in a bad position and people overdo it with him. They're expecting too much at this point from the reps that he was given. But
Yep.
we got Clemens in there now, a guy that was very integral in developing Rodgers. So hey, Jordan's about to get that too. So I think we're better off with Clemens right now. But so what's your overall opinion on Jordan Love? Are you done with it? You just want to throw him out? You don't want to pay him this $20 million dollar fee to basically keep him another year after this year? How are you feeling about Jordan Love right now? And anyway, he doesn't have to be the quarterback of the future. He could be a
No.
segue quarterback. We might have to draft another one to put a fire up under his ass. But the thing I don't like, people act like they forget the history. The football gods tried to bless us and show us the Favre and Rodgers situation, and we act like we forgot that shit happened.
Yeah.
There was
Right.
times where people wanted Rodgers out of town. What are you doing? We have a Hall of Famer. I love Brett. There was times Rodgers was booed, and Packer fans are forgetting that this kind of shit happened. And again, I always think when the G is on your head, I'm going with you no matter what. Hey, Ty Montgomery, I went to the game in LA. We were not good that year, but this was a game that we could have won. And LA, I think, may have ended up in the Super Bowl that year. Ty Montgomery took the play that he was told not to take it out in special teams, and he fucked up the game for us. I forgave him for that. I forgave Kevin King for that Scotty Miller shit. As long as you got the G on your head. Now, when you gone, I'm gonna talk shit about you. But hey, when you're a part of my family, we all got that drunken uncle. We all got that
Yep.
crazy ass cousin who go out there and do some shit. Is he still your cousin? Is he still part of the family? All right, then just bring him in and try to hope that he learns that lesson.
Yep. I think he's improved. I mean, there's some obvious areas he's got to improve on. I mean, he's some of the way he looked last night trying to force balls in there. He looked like Brett Favre. I mean, he wasn't slinging them in there like Brett would. I mean, going for it, but I think he's got, like he said, he's got those little mental notes. He's got to, like, he tried forcing that ball in there last night for that interception.
That was ugly.
Yeah. And he came back and he took mental note of it. I think he's, I mean, who else is going to step up right now? I mean,
and then again, what are you going to go get a high price free agent for a backup? What are you going to draft somebody else? I just think we're stuck with this predicament, and we just got to all hope and pray that it works out, again. Yeah. And at this point, it's about what we're asking them to do. Are we asking them to be the future of the Packers right now and go on a Super Bowl run? No, we got Aaron for 3 more years. I think he stays probably 2, but it depends on what happens too. It depends on how far we get. It depends on if we get this Super Bowl. So, I mean, I just think we stuck with it, and I'd rather not denounce him or cancel him until he's gone. He's gone. We could talk shit, say, oh, it didn't work out. But right now, I'll take him over a Brett Hundley. I'll tell you that. Yep. I'll take him over a Deshaun Kaiser. I won't take him over a great Matt Flynn, but, we ain't in that situation right now. So exactly. That's that. Let's move on. We talked about the D. We talked about the special teams. Let's talk about offense. Two-part question here. What are you most worried about in the offense, number 1? And number 2, what are you most excited about in this offense? Or more confident about?
Oh, the offensive line, well, Elton coming back and hopefully Bach back soon. I mean, that's still kind of worrisome, I think, a little bit. I mean, yeah, these guys, younger guys, been making plays, but it's still a little sketchy at times. I mean, it's same with the wide receivers, but I shouldn't say wide receivers. I think we're good at wide receivers. I really think that Watkins is going to step up and shock the world. I really do. If he stays healthy, I mean, the guy can play. Everyone forgets that. I mean, if he stays healthy and he's out there and he's been making plays like he has been in camp, and I know it's just camp, but he knows where to go. When Rodgers sees a defense, he sees a defense, they relate that. So I believe that's going to, I think Watkins is going to have a big year. He's in there. I think he picks up eventually number 1. I think he could be a number 1. I really do. If he stays healthy, just by looking, just like when Rashawn Gary was drafted, everyone hated that pick. And I was looking at it. I was excited for it. And watching him, I was following him on Twitter and Instagram. And just the work he was putting in, it's like, this dude's going to be a beast. He's going to be a freaking monster. And Watkins is doing the same thing. I think he's going to be good with it.
I agree with you on that, bro. His highlight tapes, obviously highlights are highlights. They're supposed to look good. I watched some of his game film too, play to play, but his highlight tapes are borderline addicting, man. If we can use him in that way, I don't know. I mean, obviously you did see the game yesterday. You know how Amari was doing all that running around in the backfield? Like if we could get Christian to do that, like when Amari's doing it, they're like, okay, this guy might get the ball, he might not. But if he does, he can't take it to the house. Christian can. And then, and you said number one. I'm not sure. Hey, he has every skill to be, but I think he's too good of a gadget guy, a Tavon Austin.
Somebody, Watkins.
He's too good of a gadget guy. I think, because the number one going to stay on the outside. He's going to do his thing just like Davante, but he's too valuable with other stuff. Maybe he might be a 2 or 3, and hopefully Romeo could step up to the 1. Hey, good problem to have, right? So, hey, I agree with you on Watson. I think, just like you said, I think he's like Weapon X, man. He's like something that he's a player, bro. I haven't seen a player like his caliber and his skill set with the Packers. Like we haven't done something like that. I mean, maybe a young Cobb, but again, Cobb is not 6'4". Like this guy had blazing speed, 6'4", is not afraid of contact, thinner frame, but his body type looks like he can gain a few, like I'm really excited about this kid. I'm sad he missed out on a lot of that time, but I think it's divine that Romeo got that confidence, first. So, because Christian going to come in and do what he do anyway. So I'm glad Romeo, hey, it might be because Christian was gone. Christian might have been in those spots that Romeo was in at the time, but I'm glad Romeo got in and got his. But Christian, like I said, Minnesota, they ain't going to know what the fuck to do with this kid if he gets in there. They have no film on him. They don't know how we going to use him. And he's going to be in there because I was been told by people at the practice, like, hey, he's in with the ones, he's not performing and doing nothing because he's hurt, but they are keeping him close to the ones. And so he needs to know everything's going on. Sorry, I'm rambling.
There you go. No, I think now I was talking Sammy Watkins. I think he can be a huge playmaker in this. If he's healthy, I think he can step up into that role. I mean, he can be a Davante Adams. I mean, he's right there with it. Numbers, he's just got a problem with being healthy. If he's healthy and on the field every game, him and Rodgers are going to click off. So that's what I'm excited about. Seeing his work through the offseason, how pumped he is about this opportunity, and then the people around him, his coaches, during the offseason are saying that he's put in work and he's looking extremely well. I mean, all the wide receivers look good. And it's a good problem to have. Very good problem to have. And I think Dobbs will end up stepping. I think by next year, end of the year, this year, he could be number one. Fixes them drops. He's going to be golden there. And then I think with Samori Toure, I'd like to see them keep him over Winfrey because he's just been phenomenal coming across the field and catching the ball. He's got good hands. It seemed like last night he stepped up big time. So I'm excited about the wide receivers, the offense as a whole, the running backs too. I mean, there's a lot of good problems we're having this year right now with who we're going to keep. That's just, I think there's going to be some hurt feelings come Tuesday, but it's going to be interesting, very interesting.
I agree with you. And so nobody's right, but what you said about Torre is totally correct. I'm feeling the other way only because of this. I would rather have Winfrey in there right now. Really, I don't care. Like, really, whoever they make the decision, I love them both. Again, they have the G on their head, but Winfrey's a guy who's been in the league. When we called his number in Arizona last year where Davante and Lazard didn't play, no, he didn't come in to get 100 yards, but he caught a first down. He did a couple things. I'm like, okay, who's this cat? He's been in Aaron Rodgers' mouth all camp, So that's the only thing, I think the front office is a little better with Aaron. Aaron used to always talk like this, but Aaron noticed that at some point, like, man, y'all not even asking for my input. I am the quarterback here. So it seems like they're giving Rodgers a little input, and it seems like he's going to have Winfrey in there. I'm not mad at either one because again, Toure is like, how do we get this guy this late in the draft? And he had the best game yesterday. And he's a special teams player. So it's gonna be like you said, Phillips is gonna be hurt. I don't know what's gonna happen. I would say Winfrey just because Rodgers been talking about him and he's a vet and then played in live games. But again, Toure has done enough for him to be on this roster. So again, I agree, but I disagree with you. But hey, it's all love. It's for the better of the Packers. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy, he did come in, and we've seen with our eyes, he's done something in the NFL in a critical game where Davante and Lazard was gone. So for him to come, I never forget stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. And like I said, Rodgers might have been looking at film from his all past year to see where he can improve and seeing like, damn, Winfrey came in that game and I like some stuff because again, Aaron he keeps talking about him unprompted.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Just like with Goodson and Taylor, that's a hard one too to choose from. Very hard one. I mean, Taylor's been good there blocking.
What are your thoughts?
Taylor's been there, like, second year pro, been there. He's picking up the blocks. I mean, he can do it, but Goodson has just been on a tear ever since he's been here. And that's where my part has always been like, okay, you get these good players into camp. It's like, oh, we always go with this guy. We let this guy go. He ends up going somewhere else and being just phenomenal. And we already got 2 good backs, 3 good backs when Hill comes back. It's difficult. I mean, like, comes down to who's better on special teams. And if they're going to play our starters on special teams, well, then I think you go with the guy who can make big plays like that. But I don't know. It's a horse apiece where you go at it. It's a good problem to have. Very good problem to have. I mean, what do you think?
Hey, I agree with you. And then again, I don't have it written down, but my questionnaire for you in my head, I was going to come across this situation with you. So thank you for starting it. You just did it off the top of your dome. So you know your shit. You know what the hell you're talking about. This is rough for me because, again, I feel for Patrick Taylor because, he's been on the roster. Last year he came in for a few spells. And, I start thinking about the human aspect. It's like if I'm somebody, and this probably a problem I have, that's why I'm a Jordan Love apologist, but I done been in a room where motherfuckers is pointing at me like he did it. And now I'm just sitting there like, damn, man, y'all telling on me like that, So that's not a good feeling when a lot of people were just saying, oh, get rid of him. Again, I always say I'm the underdog. So with Patrick, I would love him to get in and find a roster spot. He's already been on the team. He knows the playbook. And I think his confidence will be hurt if some cat just came undrafted, Goodson. And again, let's talk about Goodson. I can't stop watching, man. He's amazing, for real. I ain't trying to overdo it, but this kid, bro, running and catching like both. Like it's not like, oh, well, he's a pass catching running back, or he's like a fucking Aaron Jones, man. Like, how do we keep coming up on these gems and the Kylan Hill? Like, bro, we need to do something. We need to trade one of these motherfuckers. Like, I don't know, because like we're loaded.
Right?
Loaded.
Crazy good. Insane what we've been picking up for running backs. It's a good problem to have, but it's a hard one too at the same time. It's like,
definitely.
Which way do you go? Because you can be nitpicky every way you go.
You're right. So another subject, edge rusher. Got Preston. We love Rashawn. Who's the next guy for you, or who's the next 2 guys for you from what you've seen? Me, I'm thinking about 5'5" JJ Kingsley and Gabari. He looked good for most of the preseason. And then I'm thinking about Tipa, undersized guy, but he has heart. He knows the defense. He actually came in that divisional game against the Niners and did a little something. He made a mistake or two too, but I just like the effort from Tipa, and that's what you need from an edge rusher. So what are you looking at with edge rusher? I wish Whitney Merciless would have stayed, because but again, if a guy wants to retire in his mind, he needs to retire. He's not going to give it his all. Just him coming back from that injury he did, that normally is season ending. When he came back to Green Bay, I'm like, what a character guy this guy is. Sorry we couldn't get him a ring. That's why I was hoping he had one more itch just to come back one more year, but fuck it. He ain't here. Who you got coming after Rashawn and Preston?
55. He is just a beast. I mean, he's got a little bit of work to do, but watching him, I can't remember what it was on, if it was on YouTube or wherever, but just watching him hit the pads, it's just like he's a monster. I mean, he's a beast. He's a scary dude. I mean, what is he, 6'5" or something like that? He was. And he looks fast, and I think he's the guy to step up in there and be that rotation player for him. Do you feel,
Hey, let's remember, bro. He went to South Carolina, and most programs they look for certain types, and that motherfucker looked like a Jadeveon Clowney, he could do certain stuff like that, which would be incredible. And if anything, he could be a baby Zadarius Smith. I tell people, when we got Z, he was not a starter. Bro was a rotational guy on the Baltimore defense. So when we got him, I said, what an eye Goody in him has. This guy, his tape ain't out there as far as, as much as Judon or whoever else he was behind. But I said, we found a hidden gem. This motherfucker come out 14 sacks, 12 sacks, whatever it is. Like, sorry what happened to him, but, he started dealing with a back injury, and that's always dangerous. So I guess the Packers just said, look, Preston's playing just as good, being just as productive, less flash, and we gonna pay him less money. He's actually taking a pay cut. Z gonna want to get paid. So we had to do what we had to do in that situation. But I totally agree with you. Put 5'5" in there. He wearing the same number. Like, hey, let him go. And then again, this is the Rashawn treatment. Rashawn, first year, we ain't asked you to come in and do much. Hey, you're gonna play 10 to 15 plays a game, come in there and try to rush the quarterback and work on the physicality of how the NFL and the speed is. Like JJ, we're not asking him to do much. So I really hope he comes in and flourishes in this position that he's going to get. Because like you said, I've seen him on the pads. And he just, like, when you're that good technically already, like, some people are just good in the game. And, but this guy, if he could do that on the pads, you could translate that to the field. And he's just a natural pass rusher. Like, Buck, whatever else he can do, we can work on it. We can coach you because we have a good coaching staff. You know how to rush the passer. Get your ass up in there on a third down when it's, a pass situation, and go get that money, man.
Right. He can do it. I think he's going to be, give him a year or two, I think he's going to be a big guy. I really do. He's scary looking. That video of seeing him hitting the pads, watching the guys go before him, and the way he hit them pads was like, oh, man, don't want to be that guy. Do not want to be the guy carrying the ball.
We may be seeing the same video because I was watching one, and even the dude recording the video was like, look, watch this. I'm like, oh, he been seeing them already. I'm like, he done seen already what's about to happen. So that's just exciting. I'm gonna probably end it on this. One thing I'm gonna just tell you, one of the most things I'm excited about is the defensive line, man. Like, what a rotation. Like, I don't care if anybody gets tired. God forbid anybody gets hurt. Like, two people could be hurt and we still will be good, bro. And in the preseason, Heflin, his motor, his handwork is just crazy. I hope he makes the roster. I don't know how many we're gonna carry. And one more. Oh, Chris Slayton to me, and I'm talking about these two guys. I didn't even mention the great Kenny Clark. I didn't mention Jerron Reed. Like, bro, people are gonna be in trouble. Offensive lines don't sub out. They play the whole game. You got a fresh Devontae Wyatt coming in right after you just was dealing with Kenny's ass. Like, bro, people are going to be in trouble, man. People are going to be in big trouble. And I knew this last year against Kansas City. Like, we're at Kansas City. They are a top AFC team, perennial AFC championship team. That's what they've been. And we shut their ass down, bro. They could not score. Tyreek Hill, I didn't see him that much. Hey, ask the Raiders. He'll get 200 yards. 10 catches on him quick. Like, bro, I didn't see Tyreek Hill doing nothing that game. That was a very impressive game. That was the first time I seen, like, okay, this defense might be not only good, but great. The next time I seen that was in the divisional, the heartbreaking game. But if you watch that game on the defensive side, it was a masterpiece.
Yes. Shut them right down. And I have the same thing.
Couldn't do anything.
Same thing written down. Heflin, Slayton, them two guys get in there. And then TJ Slayton, I'm excited for him this year. He looked damn good last year, and I think this year he's going to really break out and be the guy too. It's stacked. It's a hustle. Really,
Definitely.
all sorts of excited. Yeah, this defense I think is going to be easily top 3, easily. But I think that's the scariest D in the league to me. I really do. It's to go against them corners, safeties, and the linebackers.
All
It's
levels, man. Just
right.
like you said, every level you got a all pro. D line, Kenny Clark, all pro. I don't want to hear it. Linebacker, we already have all pro, Devondre Campbell. Uh, Corner, what you think? Like Jair in the year that he came in and had Rasul, he could be a fucking all pro too.
Yep.
The way he just, bro, he baits quarterbacks. He takes, and when he gets the picks, he takes them to the house, bro. Like
Right.
bro, I'm so excited. And they're putting the Sewell in the slot. So what I was thinking, I'm like, okay, slots are normally faster. I was thinking that Stokes was going to be there for his speed, but then I think about how Sewell baits and he's going to jump a route. A lot of passes get thrown to the slot, so we might be seeing Sewell with 10 to 11 picks. And I ain't even playing, bro.
Yeah, that'd be. It's gonna be crazy. I mean, I would not want to be on another team, the quarterback. That's scary. Who are you gonna throw it to? Watch where you throw. And you got to get it over the 2 big guys in the middle. Throw it over them too, where they're going. It's
6'4", both of them, bro. 6'4". That's different. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, he said that's one of the first things he noticed about this defense. He said it's different when you got 2 of them motherfucking giants right there. It's like, damn, how I'm gonna get it up? Because hey, I don't know how many times Aaron Rodgers done zipped the pass right by Bobby Wagner's ear. These motherfuckers is tall and more rangy. Like, bro, it's gonna be a fucking problem. But listen, I'm trying to keep this at a 30-minute clip. I could talk Packers forever. I don't know what
right.
you got going, if you got something to do, but bro, Matt, you are the first, person on this motherfucker, and I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be talking to my subscribers because I really appreciate you guys, like really, really just sticking with me, getting in them comments, liking the video. So this is something I thought that I could give y'all a one-on-one because I really and I value you guys' opinion. So hey, you on the first episode, bro. So that's epic for me, and I really thank you for your time, bro.
Thank you for having me. Feel very honored. And yes, everyone that's been in the chats has been awesome. It's good to see that many people have all this in common. Same thoughts. It's awesome. It's awesome. You got a good thing going here, man. Very good thing going. Excited.
Again, go ahead.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Can't wait to see the next one, what you come up with. They're all been great. Thank you for having me. Very appreciate it. Been a good time. Hopefully we can do it again later down the road here. Season goes on.
Definitely.
Sure.
We're gonna catch up, bro. But again, hey, thank you so much. And hey, with that, y'all, we out this motherfucker.